Hello, everyone. My name is Peter. I lead growth in Africa at C Labs, and today I have amazing people guests from KotaniPay, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Thank you, Peter. My name is Felix Masharia. I'm the team lead at KotaniPay, and I have my friend here, Steve. Steve.
Hello, Steve. How you doing? Okay.
Steve left.
Okay. Probably internet. But then, anyways, thank you, Felix. Steve is going to join us back for taking your time. I know it's a little bit late for you. What time is it in Kenya? You're based in Kenya, right?
Yes, it's around 9 p.m.
Wow, that's super late. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Today we just want to get to know you and the team, and and KotaniPay. So tell us about KotaniPay. What's KotaniPay?
Yeah, so KotaniPay is, the way we think of it is, it's a technology stack that connects blockchain protocols to local payment channels on the continent. Yeah, so if you have been to Africa, you will tend to realize that the demographic is quite different, even when you're talking of phone users. So when people hear mobile phone users, they often think of smartphone users. Like that's what comes to people's mind directly. But in Africa, we have a mix of mobile phone users. So you have users who are using high-end smartphones. You have users who are using low-end smartphones, which don't have enough storage space and the likes. And then we have users, about 57% of them, of the 700 million, who are using feature phones. So feature phones are traditional push-button phones, very different from smartphones. They don't have access to the internet and so on and so forth. So what KotaniPay basically enables is it enables all these individuals with feature phones and low-end smartphones, as well as smartphones, to connect to blockchain protocols.
Amazing, amazing. So KotaniPay, it's like connects the blockchain to USSD users, correct?
Yes. So the primary interface that users, for example, users with feature phones will normally interact with services through an SMS-based technology called USSD. So the way USSD works is, since you don't have a smartphone, you don't have your usual apps with the usual UI, you often have to key in a code, and then the code will give you a menu of choices which help you to access the various services you want. So you could maybe you want to buy call minutes, maybe you want to get internet, and so on and so forth. So what KotaniPay did is we found a way to connect blockchain protocols to this technology, which is an SMS-based technology, so that it's possible for any user who's using USSD. Some interesting use cases, for example, are refugees in Dadaab camp and Kakuma camp at the moment. So these are people who don't have smartphones, but they can access blockchain protocols through the technology that we have created.
Amazing, amazing. So I understand that M-Pesa, which is also a USSD-based innovation, has had amazing sources in Kenya, and a lot of financial technology things model M-Pesa because they have quite a huge sources, right? So now the question is, why did you think of bringing blockchain into the whole mix?
So M-Pesa is an interesting technology because what M-Pesa did basically was to take the SIM card and to make the SIM card the bank account, so that you don't need a formal bank account with a local bank. As long as you have a phone which has a SIM card, you can transact with other people. You can pay for services, you can send money, you can receive money, and you can use money anywhere. So M-Pesa is used very, very much in Kenya. About 80% of mobile phone users are actually on M-Pesa. So M-Pesa is good for the local setting when it comes to issues of payments. But it's not good when you're thinking of, payments from outside. So cross-border payments, for example, is not something that M-Pesa enables. Simply because if you look at the structure of M-Pesa, it rides on the mobile network operator here in Kenya called Safaricom. Just next to Kenya, you have Uganda, which has MTN, which is a different mobile network operator. And then you have a different mobile network operator in Tanzania, and so on and so forth. So it's a very fragmented. If you're looking at the African payment space, it's usually very fragmented. So we have seen the growth of people who are building infrastructure that is, pan-African, that is able to join one country to the other, the likes of Flutterwave and so on. Blockchain for us presents unique opportunities because of its benefits. So for one, it's very low cost for somebody to send you funds on the blockchain from abroad, and some of our use cases are built around that. So for example, there is a company we're working with called Toka that pays workers here in Kenya, but is paying workers from San Francisco. So you pay them in USSD, and using KotaniPay, they can withdraw that cash to their M-Pesa, to their mobile money accounts. So there's that low cost associated with cross-border transfers. There's also the element of transparency of transactions, things that you won't see with centralized ledgers like M-Pesa. So it becomes very easy, for example, if you're doing aid work in Africa, to see who the money has gone to, and you're seeing it right on the blockchain. So some of those unique opportunities that the blockchain presented is what we wanted to add to the mix.
That's amazing to hear. So I think what I'm getting from you now is the reason why you chose to bring blockchain into the whole mix is because of the interoperability between different financial tools, and trying to bring them in one place, and then the low fees and the accountability. I think that's great. So I think that my next question would be, why did you choose to work with Celo Blockchain? Why did you choose Celo Blockchain?
Yes. So initially, of course, we had looked at quite a number of blockchains. I've been in the space for about 6 years now. When I was entering the space back in 2016, 2017, we were talking about a challenge called the trilemma of scalability, where you have to think about security, you have to think about speed, and so on. So when we looked at the various blockchains on which to launch this particular product, we wanted a blockchain that has a focus on financial inclusion. We wanted a blockchain that has a focus in Africa. So you find that there are a lot of blockchain protocols, but they don't have support services for the continent, right? So we wanted a blockchain that is particularly focused on financial inclusion and is focused on the continent. That was a major one on the Celo side. If you look at Celo's technology as well, we really liked the fact that you have low fees. So the gas fees are like in fact, it's almost like at no cost if you're looking at the gas fees. Then there was the additional element of the concentration on mobile, right? So mobile is king in Africa. It's the way people communicate. Very few people have laptops. Most people will access the internet, will access services through mobile. And so by having that element of the Celo Dark Kit, enabling a person to develop on mobile, we thought that would be an additional advantage for us. So we chose Celo for those. And then finally, of course, was the stablecoin element as well. So we process payments for people who are getting paid salaries. We process payments for people who are making payments to merchants. A lot of these people don't want currencies that are fluctuating in value. And for us, Celo stablecoin was also a winner there. So we chose it for a number of reasons, and it has worked well so far.
Thank you so much, Felix. I agree with you because Celo has a huge focus on emerging markets, especially Africa, and there's been quite a lot of projects trying to solve the financial inclusion problem, so to say, but there hasn't been so much on ground work like Celo has been doing so far. So yeah, I agree with you as well. And I think it's interesting to mention you mentioned something about gig workers getting paid in Celo dollars from San Francisco. I think that's quite a very changing innovation for the gig economy in Kenya, because I know quite a lot of people depend on the gig economy in Kenya. So that's interesting. And just to let our viewers know that Celo Euro, which is also a stable coin pegged to the euro, is going to go live very soon. It just passed the proposal just passed. The governance proposal just passed, and we should see Celo Euro going live very soon. So thank you, Felix. Steve, hi, welcome back.
Hi, thank you. It's a bit dark here. I think the lights decided to go because of the rain.
No worries. So I would like to ask you a few questions as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Felix has shared interesting things about KotaniPay, and so I also like to know how has been the whole point of trying to bridge blockchain and USSD users. How has the whole experience been for KotaniPay, and how has the feedbacks of the users of this products? What are their feedbacks? We would like to learn more about that.
Yeah, thank you. So it's actually been really interesting. So like Felix has said, we are trying to bring the ease of use of blockchain to give that the kind of the transparency, and also we needed something that could work with the fast block type, which will allow us to do near real-time transactions to rival what is there now in the traditional markets. And so the blockchains which had existed before Celo came in on the board, they had like the Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, it was not fast enough to be able to use to offer real-time solution. So most people who use blockchain up to that time, they had to do like a second layer solution where they are running the transactions off chain, then they settle them later, and that removes a bit of the transparency of the whole system. So, and also we realized that using Celo, it will save us a lot of cost, because we can actually use most of the tools which have come with the blockchain itself, and to be able to offer a better solution. So it was quite an interesting experience to work with Celo on that area. We had done a bit of node validation, so interfacing with the blockchain was easier for us. And also the team was very amazing to work with us and help us to learn to integrate and to learn new things. So it was quite a good experience.
Awesome. Excited to hear about that. So Steve, how many users are currently using KotaniPay, and how much Celo dollar is being conducted, monthly through KotaniPay? So this is a question for both Steve and Felix. Anyone could go.
Yeah, so I think we've actually grown month to month by over 400%. So we started that, we went live late last year around October. So the first 2 months we did some pilots, and then from there, that's when we started onboarding users. So primarily, the first pilot was with Toka, which is a gig work platform. And we did 50 users for the first cohort, which was in October, then a second one in November. By December, we had signed up around 150 users. Then in January and second, we brought in new clients, including Corp, which had around 300 users. And also right now, like we are working with the Impact Market, which deals with the refugees and to create a UBI. And right now we are onboarding 5,000 users. We are also working with their project in Ghana, and another project also on board, which deals mostly with the lending, interfacing with the lending. So we've seen a lot of growth during the few months that we've worked, and I think so far we've processed more than 170,000 USD in that short span, and we are actually keep growing. So it has been quite an exciting, because the first phase was mostly integrations, which basically takes a bit of time because you have to test everything and make sure it's working. And at the same time, we've been able to grow as a business from the volume of transactions.
Wow, that's huge. That's quite a lot of users and volumes being conducted in such a period of time. Kudos to the
Uh,
team. And
yeah.
so, um, no, so it's interesting to hear all this, and I think Felix mentioned earlier about KotaniPay trying to solve that interoperability problem, and so since we have a lot of people in sub-Saharan Africa, especially who are who need this product. So what are your expansion? I know this might be a little bit early to access, so but in your roadmap, what are the countries you are looking to expand these services to, so they can also enjoy, the seamless experience of using KotaniPay?
Felix, I think, yeah. So basically, our primary market was Kenya, and then we focus on Ghana and Zambia because that's where we made our initial partnerships. Then from there, we are extending on to Nigeria, Uganda, Rwanda, and a few countries. So currently, we had focus on the 7 countries which had the support for USSD, so that the allows easier integration. We're also looking at how we can use social net, the applications like WhatsApp, which will enable us also create a global product. So our focus has been like creating a solution that works with the basic phone, and that's where the USSD came around. And then from there, we try to integrate everyone else outside that ecosystem. So creating a web app and study. I'll have a web application and basically a bot which will use the social applications. So we feel that we'll be able to cover the 70 million Africans who are not covered on traditional smartphones, and that has been our target. Okay.
Those are very big plans and goals, and I'm really excited to hear about that. One more question before we go.
Yeah.
So if KotaniPay were to be a movie character, what would KotaniPay be?
It will probably be, I think if you watched Black Panther, you know the lead character Chala. So you'll probably be Chala for Wakanda. A lot of what we are doing is very on the edge of technology. Nobody has tried it before. So we are very excited, and we often feel like we are doing Wakanda work here in Africa.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So thank you guys for taking the time to join us. I'm sure the viewers and a lot of people who are going to watch this after we go off would be so much excited to hear about the great things that KotaniPay is doing. And there's been a lot of discussion of how the world is going to bank the unbanked, but it's truly exciting to see a team that's actually going through the work and actually banking the unbanked. So thank you guys for joining us, and it's been an awesome conversation.
Thank you for your time, Peter.
Hi, thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye, guys.